What's going on, guys? Beefcakebro here, and in this video I just want to address the warm-up. I feel like a lot of people are straying away from this idea and the routine of warming up properly, so I just want to give you guys a run through of my warm-up routine. So I always like to start off with a multi-joint movement, and I just found that the rower is probably the best for this. And it's multi-joint mostly because you're moving with multiple joints, so my knees, my hips, my ankles, they're all moving together. The more muscles that work together, the more blood flow you're going to get. The more blood flow you're going to get, the better you're going to feel, and the more warmed up you're going to be. And I like this machine specifically because you can add resistance. So it doesn't matter how strong you are or how weak you are, it's great because you can add or take away resistance. Alright, and so the next tier to my warm-up routine mostly revolves around the individual. So for me, it's always going to be focusing on those tight areas. So because I'm a power lifter, I have a lot of, really tight hips, shoulders, things that really get overused from squatting, benching, and deadlifting. And my gym's even cool enough to have just some hip circles by Mark Bell laying around. So I go ahead and grab that and I start doing my walks forwards and backwards to kind of warm up my tight hips. And we also have some spare PVC pipes, which I use to do shoulder dislocations, open up my whole thoracic area, stretching my tight shoulders and pecs. And this area is so bad to the point my tight areas are just so tight and stiff that I have to warm up before I warm up, essentially. So you'll see here with the PVC pipe, I inch my hands in just ever so slightly every like 2 reps or so, trying to get really deep into opening up my shoulders and my chest. So another stretch that I really love to do right after I fool around this PVC pipe is I think it's called the samurai stretch. I really don't know, it's just the name I gave it really. But as you can see here, it kind of torques your elbow a little bit, so oddly enough it relieves a lot of elbow tension. It opens up the rear delts a little bit, and it's one of the movements that really helped me get that front rack position for the front squat, and maybe if you're power cleaning or whatever. So if you have these problems as well, it's definitely worth going to Lowe's, getting you a PVC pipe or whatever. It's a big help. Just how shitty it feels. Mama car got stolen twice around Hickory Hill, and we was catching a bus but never missing a meal. But I appreciate the times that made a nigga for real. Move to the burbs, necessary, better than living. Was a wonderful choice, I don't regret the decision. Plus I made some great friends that I'm never forgetting. I got a love for the music, but the pleasure is missing. Don't appreciate the art, they never treasure the vision. But I still beat the odds, I'm not dead or in prison. So as you can see, I really love the hip circle. My hips are always tight, so if that's something you're experiencing as well, hey, hip circle is the way to go. So here's another one of my favorite stretches I love doing. If you have tight hips or tight abductors, adductors, whenever you're doing like sumo pulls, forcing your knees out all the time, or even when you're squatting, trying to get the knees out, this is a pretty good stretch I like to do. I like to just sit in the squat, push my knees out as far as I can, come in and do a nice little groin stretch, because having those areas really tight makes it difficult to train the lifts as often as possible. And then if I feel like I need the extra little bit of glute activation, or I feel some tightness in my lower back, I go ahead and hype on this reverse hyper machine. Go ahead and get the glutes going. Go ahead and get some of the tightness out of my lower back here. Excellent machine. So part 3 for my warm-up, I like to focus on sport-specific movements. So for me, it's always going to be a barbell movement, whether it's squat, the bench, the deadlift. I'm just going to put on light weight, make sure my body's ready, make sure everything is firing correctly. And then, after all that, I'm finally ready to work out. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. And I hope you will click that subscribe button. And as always, guys, stay beefy. I got a love for the music, but the pleasure is missing. Don't appreciate the art, they never treasure the vision. But I still beat the odds, I'm not dead or in prison. So I'm grateful for the days I'm